From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football. The Phoebus Phantoms hosting the Nansemond River Warriors. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We come to you from windy Darling Stadium here on a Thursday night opening game of the season between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Nansemond River Warriors. Bob, this is a first-time meeting for these two squads. One of the things we talked about off-air was the fact that all the teams in the Peninsula District, because of having only 10 teams all total, have to go outside the district in order to complete a 10-game schedule. Hampton ran into that problem last year. They couldn't find anybody that wanted to play them, but this year they do.
Right, and that sometimes can be a problem, but it doesn't seem to have reared its ugly head this year. But we're going to have two teams with coaches that have coached against each other before. They know each other, know some tendencies. Nansemond River's got a young man, Chatham Ward, who has run for almost 900 yards, passed for 600, is a tremendous athlete. Phoebus, on the other hand, got Pham and Maurice Shanks back. They got two good leaders. Mazzell has come in at quarterback. The coaches like his work ethic. He's a fine young man, and you know, they're really excited about tonight's ball game.
Now, the Phantoms 10-2 last year, Nansemond River 8-2, so both of them coming off of very strong, good seasons, but these are young teams because of graduation. I understand that Nansemond River lost 43 players, both varsity and junior varsity, through the graduation transfers or what have you. So a lot of untested players will be on the field tonight.
And that's the case, but in Phoebus's case, it's going to be they're untested in certain positions tonight. Nansemond River says, their coach says that a lot of their kids are young, have not played in these positions. You and I saw how big they were. They're not a small team, so this is going to be a game that I think is going to have a lot to do with the punting of the game. Because of the wind tonight, that's going to affect more than the passing, because if you throw the pass, if you throw it long, then the receiver's going to have to adjust to the ball because of the way the wind is gusting. It's not constant. So I look for a lot. If there are any passes, it's going to be short passes, but the kicking game is going to be the big thing tonight.
A little earlier, Bob had a chance to talk to the head coach of Nansemond River, Coach V.
I have Coach V with me from Nansemond River Warriors, and Coach V, you've been coaching over there for a head coach for 17 years. You've been in Nansemond River since it's been open. 8-2 season last year, good year, but you lost a lot of people because of changing boundaries and graduation. Tell me a little bit about this team.
Well, this team, we're depleted. We lost 43 kids between graduation, a couple of the grades, and then we got rezoned where they took 300 students from our hotbed of athletics and moved them over to the other school. So we're going on an 8-2 team that's got to rebuild all of a sudden, which we weren't counting on. Our first group on both sides of the ball are pretty good, but it's the depth that's really bothering us.
And, you know, and a lot of people don't understand, but you got to have some depth because you're going to get some injuries, you're going to get some sprains and all that stuff. Tell me a little bit about your quarterback, Chatham Ward. Young man, almost 900 yards rushing last year, passed over 600 yards. You got to be pleased with that kind of a quality athlete coming back.
Well, Chatham, he's one of our leaders, and he's one of the most outstanding players in the area. He was all Tidewater last year. I didn't make all district, but he's a team leader out here. He's a little bit of a character, which kind of keeps the guys loose, but when he crosses that white line, he comes ready to play ball, and he's exciting too.
Okay, now at the beginning of the year, normally defense is more advanced than offense. Is that the case tonight, you think?
In our case, this is one of the few years where I've been coaching that we're about even. Usually the defense is way ahead of the offense, but because of Ward and a couple of other key players we have back, the offense is actually slightly ahead of the defense. I mean, we're running some more things now that we weren't running last year at this time.
Oh, that's good. What do you expect from Phoebus?
Hard-nosed, tough defense, and run it down your throat football.
Yeah.
I've coached against Bill at Southampton when I was at John Yates, and that's what we're expecting.
So you know Bill?
Yes, I do. It should be fun.
Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Good
Appreciate
enough.
it.
Coach Vericato, as we refer to him, Coach V, of course, talking about his team, and they've got to replace a lot of these players. Bill D has the same problem. He's got a new quarterback. I know they're very high on Leon Mizell, but he is an untested entity at this point.
Well, yeah, but he looked good in the scrimmages, and he works real hard in practices, and he's picking up the offense. And he was actually the third-string quarterback last year, so it's not that he has never taken any snaps. He played quarterback on the JV, so he does have some experience there, but he doesn't have this kind of game experience, and that's what's going to really test him tonight. But Bill is very positive about his young men. He says he's got a great group of kids, that they are good workers, and the coaching staff is very high on this team morale-wise, which is very important at this point in the season.
I'm excited. It's football season again here on the Peninsula District. It should be a great season. Right now we're going to go back in time, and Bob had a chance to talk with Bill D just a little while ago.
I have Coach D with the Phoebus Phantoms, and Coach, tonight you're going up against a guy that you've coached before over on the other side. What do you look for Nansemond River to bring to the table tonight?
Well, it's been a long time since I've coached against V, but he's basically doing the same things. He's maybe doing a few things differently. He's always done a good job over there. They've got a great athlete in this Ward kid. He was Player of the Year over there. They've got really good skilled people, and they've got I think they're explosive at any part of the field. They have an athlete that can make something happen. And last year they were 8-2, played solid defense all year, and it's the first game. Yeah,
we don't know, right?
You line up and and keep your fingers crossed. So we got a lot of kids that haven't played varsity down that are going to be playing on a lot of football for us tonight.
Right now, so your team has got some people that have stepped up, that haven't got a lot of experience, but you feel comfortable with them. They look good in your scrimmages, but they've got to get that game experience. That's a different kind of experience.
Yeah, we need some game experience, and that. I think with some games under our belt, we've got some great kids with a lot of talent. I really like the team as far as chemistry and the attitude of the team. They've been working hard all summer. We improved them from one scrimmage to the second, I thought. And if we can keep that up, I think we have a chance for a good football team. But it starts with their attitude, and they've been great.
And it also starts with the leadership with your seniors. And I know Maurice Shanks has been here a long time. He's knows one of your leaders. But you've got other leaders besides Maurice.
Yeah, Jason. I thought Jason was the most underrated player in the state last year.
We're talking Jason Fan for those people don't know.
Yeah, he had 15 sacks, 14 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. And didn't get much, attention. I think he's a great player, as good as anybody in the state of Virginia, to be honest with you.
Well, we watched him last year, and we were impressed with him. And we'll just see how impressed Nansemond River is
I hope he's pretty good tonight.
Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good enough. Let's go back upstairs to Tim, and we'll stay tuned for the starting lineups.
Tonight's game is brought to you through the sponsorship of the following: Zoom's Sitco with 5 Hampton locations. By Gear Up.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
By Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard. And in part by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the managing director. Funeral directors are Bill Leggett and Bill White. Well, as you see on the field, the Phoebus Phantoms, the home team for tonight's contest, in their gold uniforms with the blue numerals and gold helmets. Meeting at the center of the field, we do not have a microphone on the referee tonight. Through no lack of cooperation, it just didn't work out. We didn't have a technical problem with the microphone, but hopefully we'll get that fixed in the future. But Bob, it's exciting now. About 6 weeks ago, we sat in this very spot and said, boy, in 6 weeks from now, it'll be regular season time when we were doing the All-Star game, but it's here.
And my wife thought I was kind of nuts because I have been going at this thing ever since. I get fired up for football season as we see Phoebus is going to receive the ball. And Tim, I don't know how do you determine where the wind is coming, because it's really coming into our faces, coming across the field. So what you want to do is you kick it, you want to kind of kick it at an angle maybe to get that wind behind you.
Some of the crowd here, a threatening weather forecast tonight, as many of you are fully aware of. Hurricane, now Tropical Storm Dennis, has wreaked havoc all week long on the peninsula and the mid-Atlantic states in general, but Fortunately, as we are right now, we are not having any rain, and hopefully we'll stay dry throughout the game. Now here is the Phoebus offense. The quarterback is Mizell, the fullback is Lewis, Sark is the tailback, slot is Ellis, split end is Shanks, the tight end is Taylor, Pavlik is the center, Fan and Blackley are the guards, and Johans and Lachlan are the tackles for Bill D's Phoebus Phantoms.
A new look on our graphics. And here's Nansemond River. We have 4 linemen, Dougherty, White, Powell, and Irving, 3 linebackers, Chambliss, Towns, and Holloman, 2 defensive backs in Wesson and Artist, and a free safety Ward. Strong safety is Ward, and a free safety is Morris.
All right, we are about set to get it underway as the Warriors from Nansemond River, the Southeastern District, will have the ball teed up, and they will kick off. James Wesson.
With the Sarkey, beyond Mizell, and 3 Shanks back deep for the Phantoms.
Well, let's see it. Actually, they've got a different kickoff man, and that's going to be
number 34.
And unfortunately, I don't have a 34 on my roster. Esteban must have changed his number for tonight. He normally wears number 11. So Esteban Guzman is your kicker. And he gets it underway. Fielded at the 18-yard line. This is Maurice Shanks. Tries to get to the middle of the field and gets out to about the 32 or 33-yard line where the Phantoms will set up 1st and 10.
And that's not a bad place to start your first series of down. You're not real far down the field, but you're not with your back up against the your end zone either, Tim. We'll see what the Phantoms are going to come out with. Coach V thinks that Bill, in his former coaching against him, is just going to try to run the ball down his throat, and that's kind of been the way Bill has been.
17-yard return by Shanks as it's 1st down from the 33. Mizell hands off, and the surge from the offensive line crosses the 35 out to about the 36-yard line. Give you the officials here in just a moment. Ball carrier on that play is Sarkey, number 3.
Well, you're going to see not only Sarkey, but you're going to see Xavier Adibi, just a freshman, Tim, also playing that tailback.
Yeah, Nathaniel's younger brother, I'm told.
Yes.
2nd down after a pickup of about 4. Call it 2nd down and a short 7. 37-yard line, again into the middle of that line. Power surge.
Like they run a quick trap in there, but it didn't fool the Nansemond River Warriors at all. They stayed right in their gaps and just kind of took away the blocking angles. Tim, you got the officials?
That was Joe Lewis carrying the ball, number 34. The officials tonight, the referee is Mike Mitchell. Umpire is Mike Mann. Mike Hextall is the linesman. Mike Tuzzi is the line judge. If you're naming Mike, you don't get to be named in the first 4 officials.
I think that's the way it works.
The field judge is Jim Mayhew and Scott Davis. I don't know. Jim and Scott snuck in the back door there. Scott Davis is the back judge, and that is your lineup of officials for tonight's contest. 3rd down and about 3 for the Phantoms. Again, running the ball, and this will be well short of the 1st down as they cross the 40, shy of the 41-yard line. And that will bring up the punting team for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Well, you look at number 5 going back, Chatham Ward, Tim, the one of the deep men. You look at what he's got. Kind of looks like White Shoes Johnson. He's got white shoes on, and back with him is Maurice Yancey, number 2. So they put 2 deep men to get this punt.
Yancey back deep for the Warriors.
Low snap, but Pavlik gets it away. Fielded at the 33-yard line and then falling to the ground as he tried to cut at about the 38-yard line, and that's where Nansemond River will start with their first possession. 9:38 left in the first quarter, no score. 12-minute high school quarters for your football time. Here's the defense now, offense rather, for the Nansemond River Warriors.
We got quarterback Ward, the running backs are Chambliss and Towns, the wide receivers Artist and Hicks, the tight end is Rizzo, the linemen are Armstrong, Williams, DeJager, Powell, and Irving.
28-yard punt that time, by the way, and a 6-yard return. We'll give you the defense for the Phantoms, next opportunity that we have.
On that run back that time, Tim, with the field just a little bit damp and a little bare in the center, you're going to have to really lower your center of gravity so your feet don't slip out from under you.
38-yard line is where they'll start. Ward over center.
In a wing
and he still has the ball. And he is going to be hit hard. The ball is loose, and the Phantoms have picked it up. And he will score.
And that's number 51, Eric Edmonds.
So Ward hit hard as he was going down the line of scrimmage. The ball came loose, and Edmonds scores on the fumble recovery.
Tim, I tell you, that was just real heads-up defense. They know, the Phantoms know that Ward ran for over 900, almost 900 yards last year, Tim, so he does keep the ball, but it looked like to me he was getting ready to pass, and when he cocked his hand back, he was hit hard. I didn't see who hit him.
Phantoms now will try the extra point. Paul Pavlik. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So one offensive play by the Warriors, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Phantoms, as the opportunistic Phantoms recovered the fumble and raced 29 yards for the touchdown.
Tim, and that's one thing that you hope as you start to play in the new year, that you can get some breaks early. Not only did they get a recover fumble, but was able to take it in, didn't have to run any offensive plays to do it. That's a nice shot in the arm for your defense and your offensive teams.
Check out your neighborhood Zooms. There are 5 convenient Hampton locations. Here's the extra point try from Pavlik, and I'm going to assume that we don't have the fumble recovery. Pavlik's kick was up and good. Also want to remind you, we're happy to have Wood Funeral Home again as one of the community supporters this year. Wood Funeral Home, where the funeral director is Richard Pulley. On staff are Bill Leggett and Bill White.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game from these two teams. Player will receive a plaque and a shirt. And I'm sorry, we will just pick one from the Peninsula District this year. The Buckwalders and DC Engraving. DC Engraving is located on Route 17 at Tab Square, and Islander Hardware is located in Pocosin.
Tommy Jones, that's to move it away.
We got somebody else kicking that looks like Tommy Jones, did he say?
Yep, no, that's Pavlik, actually.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yep. This time the return is to the 30-yard line, and the kick is returned by Maurice Yancey. So the Warriors will have it again on the second possession, an 8-yard return after the 38-yard kick.
We get a chance, we'll show the defense for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Didn't get a chance to do that before the Phantoms scored. We'll do that in just 1 second. Ball marked squarely at the 30-yard line. We're 9:19 to go in the first quarter.
Tom Gear is involved with the Girls and Boys Club in Hampton, and they are in the process of raising money to build a new gym. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, let me do the lineup after this play. I won't have time to do all the lineup, and we'll get back to it right after this offensive play. As Ward is over center again. Wants to pass, throws in the flat, has it at the 35-yard line, out to about the 38-yard line. So a pickup of 8 and second down and 2.
That was a rope.
Here are the Phantoms. Nose guard is Littleton, Blackley, and Fan are the tackles. The ends are Taylor and Lachlan. Ellis and Edmonds are the linebackers. Edmonds, of course, with that fumble recovery. Mizell and Sarkey are the corners. The safety is Joe Lewis, and Maurice Shanks is the free safety. So we're taking care of all of that business.
We'll take care of it as we can.
Gain of a little more than 8, second down and a pair. And very close to the first down is Dominique Chambliss. And he would appear to have the first down. Let's wait and see where they mark it exactly. Yes, it is.
Well, while he's doing that, let me tell you that Tom Gear is involved with the Girls and Boys Club in the Hampton, and they are in the process of raising money to build a new gym. Your donations would be appreciated. If you have any questions, call Tom Gear at 827-8277.
Had to call them today, as a matter of fact.
He's a good guy.
Well, I remembered the number. Didn't you have to look it up?
Isn't that neat? You don't have to work hard to remember that number.
Just remember the first three, you got it covered. First down for the Warriors. Ward straight back to pass, has some time, throws near sideline, and stepping out of bounds and taking a major hit. The receiver was Dante Hicks, but boy, did Musa Sarkey just nailed him. But to his credit, he held on for a nice gain out to the phantom 45-yard line. So a first down again. That was a 15-yard pickup.
Well, Tim, that was a great pass route. He went down and came back for the ball, lost the defender, Sarkey. Sarkey slipped a little, but I tell you, he made up for it. Let him know that you catch the ball, you're going to get hit.
On the option, Ward keeps it, and he is to the 40, picks up 5 before he takes a pretty good lick.
And that was Maurice Shanks that delivered that hit.
But a 5-yard gain on first down makes it second down and 5. 7:55 left to go here in the first quarter.
Well, you can see why the coaching staff at Nansemond River are real high on Chatham Ward. Not only can he throw the ball well, and in this wind, he's showing some great ability to throw the ball short and deep, but runs the ball right well.
This game videotaped on the 2nd of September, 1999. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen coming to you from Darling Stadium.
Bob who?
Bob Killen.
Oh, stat man.
The instant stat man over here working, and he's got his lovely wife with him again tonight. Handoff left side. That'll be enough for a first down as Chambliss carries. He's 5'11", 190-pounder, a junior.
Just off tackle, Tim, and a nice hole that time. Looked like he picked up maybe 6 yards.
Enough for the first down, so they move the chains again.
Down to about the 35-yard line.
So they mark it at the phantom 35-yard line. Hampton Chevrolet is a locally owned business, and they strongly believe in supporting the community and the school systems. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. We want to thank all of our corporate sponsors for helping us bring you these games here on Channel 46. Ward on the flanker around. That's Yancey. And Yancey gets a yard or so if he got that. So
basically looked like he may have just only got back in the line of scrimmage. The defense did a good job of staying home and not leaving their area.
Looked like he had a lot more for a moment, but it didn't. It closed down real quickly. He's just a little guy, is Yancey, 5'5", 145 pounds. For those of you in the audience who think you have to be a behemoth to play football, it's not so.
Who?
A behemoth.
A behemoth.
That's right.
That a big guy.
So he did just, in fact, get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, so it's 2nd and 10.
But Jason Fan comes out. He was slow getting up, and Jeremy Blint is in for him. Just a breather problem for Jason.
Yancey in motion to the near side. Ward wants to throw. Had a man open, but simply overthrew him. Intended receiver was Latwan Towns, but Ward's pass a little tall for Towns.
Well, Towns is the tight end on that side, and the other receiver went down deep, took the defender with him, left him open, but it was just a little too tall, as you said.
Third down now, 3rd down and 10. The Warriors had been moving the ball well, but have bogged down here now after getting consecutive first downs.
Well, normally they run out of the I formation, which they are, but they got a double wide to this near side of the field, our side of the field. Look for a draw play, perhaps.
Ward steps up, saw some running room. You can see his quickness, and he's got a first down.
Tim, that's a quarterback draw that we saw Ron Curry and Hampton run so well, and Marcus Hagens last year run it right well.
So Ward gets the first down as he himself picks up 13 yards and moves the chains once again. The ball marked at the Phoebus 22-yard line. Phantoms holding a 7-0 lead on the strength of a 29-yard fumble recovery by Edmonds. That is Eric Edmonds, number 51, on the first offensive play by the Warriors in this first half here. But the Warriors now trying to answer with a nice drive of their own. This is Chambliss, and Chambliss is inside the 15 down to about the 13.
Well, Chambliss did a great job that time, Tim. The hole was plugged up, and he just bounced outside, found a seam to pick up that yardage. That's a running back that keeps his head up and his eyes open so he can see the openings.
Gain of almost 8 on the play. Second down, and let's call it 2. Split backfield has Towns along with Chambliss, now in the I formation. And this is Chambliss that gets the ball. And he is close to the first down, depending on where the mark is.
Well, I tell you, I'm watching the tendencies, and right now, Nansemond River does not mind going to the left side of the line. Evidently, they've got some strong blockers on that side because that's where they've been going.
Enough for a first down, the ball just outside the 10-yard line. So, in fact, it would appear as though the Warriors could get a first down without actually scoring, but it would be very close to the goal line. Now the Phantoms have called a timeout with 4:35 remaining in the first quarter, and they lead by the score of 7-0.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game from the Phoebus Phantoms tonight. That player receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter DC Engraving, and they're located at Route 17 in Tab Square. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalter or Jim at 596-8850. The shirt comes from Highlander Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin. And they can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
That must be 11-foot chain.
Also, while we got this chance, you'll be watching this game. If you're watching it, this is Friday night at 7:30. They got to be watching it. But this also will be played Sunday at 7 o'clock. The Hampton-Kempsville game will be played Saturday at 4 p.m. and again Tuesday at 7 p.m. There will be no game on Monday because it's a holiday. Nobody's going to go in and put that on the tape. So you got to watch it on Tuesday, Saturday for the Hampton-Kempsville game, Friday and Sunday for the Nansemond River Phoebus.
All right, 1st and 10, ball just outside the 10. The Warriors trying to respond to the 7-0 lead by the Phantoms. This is Chambliss, and Chambliss gets inside the 10 down to perhaps the 8.5.
Dennis Taylor tied in on that side, 6'190" senior did a good job of limiting Chambliss only to a yard gain.
Second down and about 8. So far, Bob, I got my fingers crossed. No rain as of yet.
And if you keep your fingers crossed, Nathaniel Braxton's going to be happy, and so is Susan Bowers. Well, and Ron Baton. Let's figure everybody is outside.
Yeah, and now a flag comes down. A delay of game. Boy, is that a costly penalty when you're down inside the 10-yard line to give up 5 yards on a mental error.
Well, this is a place in the you don't want to make these kind of mental errors or mental mistakes. Because you've got a good drive going. You're 2nd and 8. Now you're looks like it's 2nd and 15. I don't know how they ended up 2nd and 15, but
well, the ball was right around the 9.
13.
Ball was right around the 9-yard line, and they marked it out to the 14. But it's close. It's 2nd down and virtually goal at the 14. Ward rolling, looking, throws for the corner, and it's almost picked off. A late flag in the backfield. We'll see how that might be a roughing the quarterback call. Let's see how this one goes.
Could be.
And that is going to be the call. So the good defensive play by the Phantoms will be negated by the roughing the passer call.
Well, that'll be half the distance to the goal line. It'll still be 2nd down. So that penalty delay of game is not going to hurt them at this point.
1st and 7. No. That's automatic first down. So it's going to be 1st and go. at the 7-yard line.
So the personal foul is called against the Phantoms, roughing the passer. And it is a first down.
I'm sorry, you're right.
It's a first down and goal. They'll mark the ball at about looks to be about the 7-yard line. So a very costly penalty. Instead of 3rd and goal at the 14, or 3rd and 14, if you will, now it's a first down. That penalty extremely costly. Little youthful exuberance there. He got a little too carried away and roughed the passer. Referee Mike Mitchell right on top of the call. This is Chambliss, and Chambliss is inside the 5 to about the 4.
Well, number 51, Eric Edmonds, came right up the middle, just missed the tackle. He came in the wrong gap. Chambliss did a good job of sidestepping him and taking that ball down to, I mean, he's down knocking on the door.
2nd and goal. Ball at about the 3-yard line. The defense for the Phantoms now trying to dig in. Chatham Ward, very deliberate, he keeps the ball and lunges forward, and no signal yet. It looks like he's just short of the goal line. He thought he got in, but as of yet, no call from the officials. And now, whoa, what happened?
He fumbled the ball and was recovered in the end zone by looked like Maurice Shanks. So you know what that means?
Wow.
It's a safety. It's a touchback.
Wow, I didn't see that, Bob. We were, of course, right at midfield here and couldn't pick that up. As in a crowd of players, the ball came loose, and the officials ruled that he had not broken the plane of the goal line. Had he done that, here's the goal line shot. See if you can see what happened. Oh boy, that looked like he was in the end zone. Yeah, it looked like he was across the goal line before the ball came loose. And I'm Nansemond River. I got to be a little upset about that. But that's not the way it was seen on the field, and the officials clearly with a better view of it than we do. They could see whether or not he was across the goal line, and that from our angle, it appeared as he was, but the officials ruled it differently.
Big break for the Phantoms.
Oh, a huge break.
They can take advantage of that.
Instead of 7-7, now the Phantoms got the ball and still got a 7-point lead. Mizell up the middle. Again, the Phantoms staying on the ground. They bring it out to about the 24-yard line, pick up of 4.
That was Antonio Faison carrying the ball that time, Tim. He's 5'9", 195 senior.
3 yards, it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Called it a gain of, well, the announcer got me confused. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 6. It was a gain of 4 at 2nd down and 6. It's a gain of 3 at 2nd down and 7.
I'm going to let you handle that one, baby.
Math was not his strong point, right?
Something's wrong.
This one's easy to call. This is a football. Ball's loose. And they say the Phantoms have come up with it, and that'll be enough for a first down.
So the Phantoms dodged a bullet that time. Big 75.
Yeah, it looks like Maurice Lachlan.
Yeah.
So the Phantoms dodge a bullet there. It looked like they'd gotten a big first down and then fumbled the ball. Looked for a moment like the Warriors might get it, but they didn't. As Lachlan comes up with it, they mark it at the 34-yard line, and that's another first down.
But that ball come flying out of there. The ball carrier the ball was too loose as he went by the tacklers, and they just knocked it out of his arms.
1:42 to go. First pass of the ball game for Mizell. He's got it, and that'll be enough for a first down out at the 45-yard line.
Who's that? Shanks, number 88.
Yes, number 88, Maurice Shanks, 6'4" senior. So they mark it at the 45-yard line, and that's a first down. Fourth first down of the first half for the Phantoms. 1:25 left in the first quarter. Leon Mizell, a junior quarterback. Hands off up the middle. This is again Faison. And Faison picks up a couple of yards to about the 46.5.
Chris Dowdy, number 50, in on the tackle. The linebackers for the Warriors.
Let's call it a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8.
A nice pass by Mazzell out to the flat to Shanks to play before that. Nice against that wind because he's thrown right into the wind.
Mizell
Wide
open. Wide open to Shanks. Oh, and he can't hold the ball. He was so wide open he couldn't hold on to the football. Right in the hands, Bob. I made a mistake, by the way. That was the initial first down for the Phantoms a moment ago. Actually, they have 2 now. But, Shanks is
well, in all fairness to Shanks, that ball is not coming straight at you. The wind is playing tricks with it. He tried to adjust and kind of got his feet tangled and just really didn't get the ball in his hands.
And you're absolutely right, and I think that's a huge point to be made in defense of Maurice Shanks. Not that he needs to be excused. Anyone can drop a ball. But that was just a simple case there of the wind got a hold of that ball and just, man, you're talking about being wide open, though. He didn't have a defender within 10 yards of him.
Great play action fake by Leon Mazzell, Tim, and just froze the outside cornerback, and Shanks got wide open.
So the drive now will bog down after the 2 first downs for the Phantoms, and the time will run out here in the first quarter before Pavlik can get a chance to punt the ball, at least if the officials notice, and they do. So we've played 12 minutes of the first ball game of the season. The 1999-2000 school year is underway. Scholastically, no, but athletically, yes.
Absolutely.
The football game has gotten underway. First quarter ending with the score Phoebus 7 and Nansemond River nothing. Boy, I'll tell you what, though, the Phantoms are very fortunate to be ahead at this point on 2 counts. One, that fumble recovery and a great return by Eric Edmond, and then a fortuitous fumble at the goal line, which I'm sure Nansemond River will question that call for some time to come. But the officials made no hesitation to make the call.
No, they made the call real quick, and then Nansemond River on the other side got a feel that they dodged a bullet with Shanks being wide open and that ball floating with that air. Tim, we've got a great schedule this year. We're going to tonight, of course, we're doing this Nansemond River Phoebus. Tomorrow night, Kensville and Hampton. And then you start going Friday night, September the 10th, and go every Friday night right down till October 29th. And we've got a ball game every Friday night right here at Darling Stadium.
Nansemond River in the first quarter, 12 rushes, 31 yards. They passed the ball, completing 2 for 23 yards, and they had 5 first downs, and but no points. And now, as the second quarter gets set to get underway, we'll see Pavlik in deep punt formation. Bad snap, but he feels it cleanly and gets just a little bit of pressure into a very precarious wind. The ball rolls down to about the 20-yard line. And that's where the Warriors will start, actually from their 21-yard line. That'll be a 30-yard punt with no return.
Well, Pavlik has done that twice, Tim. 2 times that ball has been snapped, and he's had to take it on the hop both times. Shows good patience after he gets the ball, doesn't panic and panics and kicks it quick, does a good job.
That is part of the advantage of your senior leadership. Here's Pavlik as a senior, having that experience not to panic and rush the kick. He got away a decent kick both times in spite of a bad snap. All right, Ward over center from the 21-yard line, and he gives to Chambliss, and Chambliss gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's all, as he is stopped there, among others, by Jason Fan. And it looked like Dennis Taylor, number 9, was in on the stop initially. The Phantoms in the first quarter, 7 rushes for 19 yards, just 1 of 2 pass completions for 11 yards, and they did, in fact, have 2 first downs. If memory serves me correctly. Yeah, they got up to the 34 and then picked up a first down at the 45. They had 2 first downs.
You're relying on your memory already.
Well, remember the fumble? They gave him a first down at the 34, and then they eventually got a first down at the 45. I had them with 4, and I was wrong on that count. So.
Well, that's like third and pick up 3.
Ward, boy, is he elusive, but boy, is he also nailed back at the 17-yard line.
Hey, good job that time by number 87, Shaheed Harris, staying right with him and not giving him much room to get outside, but he does show a lot of athletic ability.
Hampton Chevrolet urges you to support the community by giving to the Peninsula United Way campaign. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Third down and long. Again, Ward feels some pressure, gets the ball away in stride, just off the fingertips of the intended receiver. Had he caught it, he'd still be running.
Well, that's number 23, Chris Artist, one of the wide receivers. That was right off his fingertips. For all your printing needs, call Gear Up Printing. They're located at 1909 North Armstead Avenue. Give Tom Gear a call at 827-8277.
How much is it going to get a collection up to get the band to stop playing during the game?
Well, at least we got them moved down a little bit. So
used
that
to be
helped.
that other school with the green and white stuff used to come over here. And...
They know. They're not going to badmouth those schools.
Oh, no. Not bad-mouthing, just stating fact. Deep punt formation. This is a relatively short kick, fielded at the 46-yard line. Shanks running room down the sideline, cuts back across and gives his team great field position at about the 27-yard line.
He really did, and number 70 for Nansemond River, which I don't have a 70 on my list, hit him and drove him forward about 4 more yards. So that helped Phoebus.
So they'll mark it at the Nansemond River 27-yard line. The good punt return by Maurice Shanks gives the Phantoms good field position.
Well, right
29-yard punt, but a 20-yard return.
Well, Tim, right there, you see the difference between the punting and this. I told you the punting game was going to have some, make some difference tonight. Nansemond River doesn't have a strong punter.
Whistles before the snap of the ball. We've got a penalty flag down on the far side of the field.
Probably have illegal procedure. No, they lined up in the.
That'll go against the Warriors.
How about that?
So Nansemond, again, another mental error this time. They've had one fumble and a couple of instances when they've had a delay of game and now an encroachment call. So that makes it 1st and 5 for the Phantoms. Always nice to get those valuable 5 yards when you're inside your opponent's 25.
And stay with first down.
Yep. 10-13 left here in the first quarter. This is Sarkey, and he is to the 15-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down.
I tell you, they're real high on this young man. He's a senior, Tim, hadn't played that much, but, man, he is sure showing he can run the ball. 6'1", 175, and is really showing some a great ability to run the ball. We don't have a lot of fans here tonight, and again, I think basically it's because 2 reasons. The school isn't opened yet. They had started classes, plus the threat of this young man by the name of Dennis, who is kind of dwindled down to just a big blow, but always that threat of rain will keep people away.
Hopefully the storm is moving away from our area and we'll have better weather for the Friday night game. Over the middle, incomplete. Not too bad, really. I mean, the temperature is comfortable. The temperature in the low to mid 70s. It's a nice breeze to keep you cool. But, yeah, that perpetual threat of rain is always there. Hopefully we'll get through this one without it.
Well, I see my good friend Brent Musgrove and his father-in-law, Roy Watson, are both here tonight, and they'll be at the ball game tomorrow night. And I talked to Brent's wife, Barbara, and she said, you understand that I'm missing 2 days seeing my grandchildren in Ohio because of these 2 ball games you said that they had to go to. And, of course, Roy loves to go to the ball games, but you better take him for a milkshake after the ball game.
Second down. Sarkey on the draw play inside the 15, short gain. It brings up 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 9, almost 8.
Gain on the play of about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8.
So the Phantoms now need a big play here to keep this drive alive, and they're going to think about it and call a timeout with 9:17 remaining in the first half as Bill D's squad will come to the near sideline and talk about this next play.
Tim, this is their second time out, and we will pick a player of the game from the Phoebus Phantoms tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Buckwalter DC Engraving, located in Tabb Square in York County, and Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Poquoson.
Hey, after the game, make a trip over to Zooms. Zooms is your friendly neighborhood location. 5 happy locations.
What they got, Tim?
Oh, man, they got Beantown coffee.
What do you like with coffee?
Well, I like donuts. They got
They got Krispy Kreme donuts.
cream donuts. At least I hope they do. They have Coca-Cola, fried chicken. Got those potato wedges. And guess what?
What's that?
They're building one up near my house. They're building one in Newport News.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be able to stop by there on my way home from the game and pick me up some hot potato wedges, fried chicken.
And Tim, just buy enough for Bob and me. We'll be stopping by.
Sounds like a winner.
If we can find out where you moved to.
That's right. Keep that a secret, trying to keep the property values from dropping. All right, they're in the shotgun formation, first time tonight. Mizell between the two backs, and he's just going to run it. This is a straight running play, and Mizell has got the first down, and he's at first and goal at the 2.
What a nice run, and there was no pass to that at all. That was nothing but a run from the go. But what it does when you go back in that shotgun formation is the defensive backs had a tendency to drop back a little and look for coverage.
So 14-yard gain on the play by the quarterback, Mizell.
Great downfield
Here's
blocking.
the replay. You're going to see it coming right at you. Mizell just a yard shy of the touchdown, and he'll take it himself this time, and he follows the surge for the touchdown.
He just followed the right side of that Phoebus line. Big 66 Jason Fan got behind him and number 54, and that's Alan Pavlik, and they just pushed him into the end zone.
So Mizell takes the ball and runs in from the 1 after setting that up with a 14-yard gain on the previous play. And now Paul Pavlik will try to add the extra point.
What a great offensive surge by that line.
Kick is up, and the kick is good.
Oh, it just got in. Looked like somebody got a hand on it.
So Pavlik is perfect on extra points, and the Phantoms take a 2-touchdown lead with 8:52 remaining in the first half.
The two teams that beat Nansemond River last year was Deep Creek and Western Branch, and they look like a good team this year, but they really got hurt on that apparent fumble in the end zone, and now trailed by 2 touchdowns. They've moved the ball well. Bob's got statistics. They've got a lot of offensive yardage, but have not got any points on the board.
Kind of an interesting tidbit that Bob has shared with me. Phoebus has 9 players that play both sides of the ball, and the Warriors, in fact, have only 6. So fatigue could be a factor in the second half.
That's a good point, but
Especially this young in the season.
Well, but it's not hot.
No, that's the big
and it's
factor.
not going to drain you because of heat tonight, which we normally have this time of year.
Oh, yeah, no question. We've had 90-degree games all the way into October. This one will be fielded by Chambliss at the 19, and he just goes out of bounds at about the 23. Interesting return there. I would have thought he might try to reverse his field or something there.
Well, that was a great angle kick by Pavlik that time. He just kicked it over there, but had the Chambliss let the ball go out of bounds, they would have got it on the 40-yard line. But you have to take a gamble if you let it bounce because of the soft sod that they have out there that may not gone out of bounds. So you better catch it.
Looks like we have a penalty on the play. They're discussing the options with the Phantoms. We'll let Mike Mitchell show us in a moment. what the penalty is or is not, depending on whether it's accepted. Let's see. Still some indecision. There is going to be a mark-off against the Warriors.
Well, it's a half the distance of the goal, Tim.
Clipping is the charge.
15 yards.
Clipping.
So clipping is the call, and the ball is marked at the 12-yard line, half the distance.
Ball resting at the 12-yard line. First and 10 for the Warriors.
So now the Warriors will start from inside their 15. 8:49 left in the first half. Phoebus 14 and Nansemond River nothing. Opening game of the season, September the 2nd, 1999. Had several fans of ours, Bob, who have given me some feedback. They said they'd like us more frequently during the game to tell the fans when the game was played. A lot of the fans watch these games, and they're played back over the season and even into the summertime. And just their curiosity is, well, gee, when was that game played?
Well, it was played on September, what? 2nd? 1999? That's a good point.
Our young police officer down there, Jim, was telling me, he says, tell Scotty to every once in a while just superimpose up, just put it in the corner. He says, because some of us actually watch these games.
Hey, that's the same guy who was making fun of us.
I think it's the same guy. Well, something about the Oprah Winfrey show or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he says that time Tim and Bob show kind of hilarious. Sometimes it looks a little bit like the what was that? The Lotto Lady.
The Lotto Lady, Lady Luck. Taylor on the tackle, as he has been there most of the evening. He's done a fine job on defense. Dennis Taylor, as I'm talking about, the tight end, linebacker, senior, 6 foot, 190 pounder. Loses 2 on the play due to the Warriors of Nansemond River. Out of the Southeastern District. I tell you, they are in fine company with the 2 teams they lost to last year. Deep Creek and Western Branch were the 2.
That right.
You know, if you're going to lose to a couple of teams and then win all the rest of your games, that's pretty strong competition. But as we mentioned at the top of the program tonight, they did have a lot of losses because of graduation. Ward keeps the ball and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Might have gotten another yard on top of that.
I tell you, number 51, Eric Edmonds, and number 75, Maurice Laughlin. Boy, they chased him right down the line of scrimmage, and he picked up a yard, but it was a hard yard.
Got actually 3. He had lost 2 on the previous play, so gets 3 yards, but it was, as you said, well fought for. And the Warriors are given 2 or 3 in this territory anytime. Now they've got 3rd and long, 3rd down and about 9.
You look for a pass, but again, the quarterback draw worked for him before.
And that's what he was trying to do, but he got forced back in the pocket, and he will not get loose.
A good pressure that time.
Looked like it might be a quarterback draw. He kind of went back. He didn't look to be in a passing mode, if you will, although the movement looked like it. I think he was trying to hopefully have a case of the Phantoms over pursuing so it would open up the middle, and Phantoms did a good job of not doing that.
Maurice Laughlin did not make the tackle, but he did a good job of forcing him back into where everybody else was.
Right.
Didn't let him get outside. Sometimes you do some good things and don't get any credit for it.
So Damian Artis will be in deep punt formation. Maurice Shanks, the only deep man back for the Phantoms. Bad kick after a bad snap, and Shanks again has plenty of running room down the near sideline, cuts back, and is finally taken down at the 16-yard line. A ball comes loose, a late flag.
Well, he's saying the ball was down because Maurice was reaching out for the ball. He was down when he reached out, but we may have a clip back here at the 27-yard line, 27-yard line.
A penalty flag down. Let's see how they call this one. Mike Mitchell will indicate clipping against the Phantoms.
And Tim, that was well after the runner had passed that point. So
you can see on the replay that was a good job of replay there from the sideline camera.
Even after the penalty, 23-yard return.
23-yard return even after the penalty is assessed, but ball was fielded right about midfield by Shanks, and again, good job of the defensive, or should I say the special team of the Phantoms, holding up the Warriors before they could get downfield and allowing Shanks to get a good head of steam. And both times they've had the return right going for them, and it's worked extremely well. But
but the punt was a low punt, one bouncer. Shanks could get it on. He could be moving when he got the ball, so it was not a real good punt. And the punter be on his side a little bit. That was a bad snap from the
terrible
center,
snap.
And he kind of rushed his kick a little bit.
Yeah, you can see some of the early in the season jitters with the long snappers for one. This is Sarkey, and a good defensive effort to stop him, as Sarkey looked like he had some room there, but Harold Barnes, 22, came up and made the stop.
Well, Tim, he not only made the stop, but he was being blocked, fought off the blocker, and made the stop.
This is it. So it's 2nd and 11. Loss was 5
So actually a loss of a yard on the play by Sarkey, 2nd down and 11. We approach the 5-minute mark here in the first half. Phoebus 14, Nansemond River nothing. Mizell on the play action. Has a man open. It's got Shanks and just overthrew him. And again, to his defense, the wind is gusting across the field. So
and that ball just sailed.
Yeah, it's just
really
very difficult. You have to throw either a very short pass or a very crisp pass. But if you get that ball with any air underneath it, it's kind of like a knuckleball in baseball.
And it floated because the wind is coming across. Wind got underneath that ball. The Maurice didn't have a chance. Ran a great pattern that time to get separation between him and the defensive back.
Here's the
replay. Ball wasn't on it.
Really can't see it from that angle, but the ball just floated away. 3rd down and 11 for the Phantoms. Right up the middle, and enough for a 1st down. And that's Joe Lewis on a quick trap play right up the middle. Lewis burst up the middle for 11.5 yards and gets the 1st down.
Tim, he played well last year at the fullback spot. He's a good blocker, but you gave him a nice trap play, and he can do some good things.
Quick trap up the middle was very effective and converted 3rd and 11 into a 1st down at the 30. Mizell gives to Sarkey, and Sarkey to the outside, still going. Got away from a tackler, and he is finally taken down, but a flag down at the 15-yard line, and Sarkey taken down at the 5. Let's see how they call this one.
Tim, Sarkey really showed some strength that time, but I bet we're going to have another clip.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Referee Mitchell says clip against the Phantoms, so wipe out that fine effort by Musa Sarkey.
Well, that'll take the ball almost back to the 30 if it's from the point of the infraction, so it'll be 1st and 10.
15-yard pickup.
So instead of 1st and goal at the 5, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30.
Harvard stuck your nose down there,
So clipping penalties here are hurting the Phantoms.
A little bit over aggressive. The clips seem to come after the ball carrier's already 5 yards or more down the field. So you have to be aware of where your ball carrier is, and don't be hitting if you can see that number on his back of his jersey, don't be hitting him.
Turns out that the Phantoms actually end up losing a yard on the exchange. It's 1st and 11.
Tape change at this play. Shouldn't those markers be used?
3:59 left in the 1st. And a fumble. Ball is loose, and it's still loose. And finally picked up by Nansemond River in Phoebus territory. So the ball came loose and a scramble for it ensued, and the Warriors will have it at Phoebus 48-yard line. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the conclusion of the first half. to the live action as the Warriors, after the fumble recovery, pick up another first down. This one all the way down inside the 35-yard line to the 34 of the Phantoms.
First down.
Tim, we got two new cable pullers down there for Ron Baton. This year we have Asa Carroll and Era Towns, two young ladies who run track over Bethel High School, and we'll have them for the next couple of years, Ron Baton tells me.
If he doesn't run them off first.
Well, Ron won't run them off. If they start running, he'll never catch them. Well, that time Ward got thrown for a loss, never had a chance to look for the receiver. Also want to let you know that HCS reports 46, Channel 46, with a new anchor this year, Beth Sadler, and it'll be on Monday through Friday at noon and 5 p.m. That's news and information about the Hampton City Schools. So turn into HCS reports on Channel 46.
Ball inside the 40-yard line after the loss. Second down and 15. Ward rolling on the option. And good pursuit by the left side of the defense for the Phantoms. Keeps him from picking up more than two. About all he got. So third down at about a dozen now for the Warriors as we approach the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Phantoms opened the scoring with a 29-yard fumble recovery by Eric Edmonds on the very first offensive play by the Warriors, and they have never quite recovered from that. Although they had an opportunity to tie the ball game up. If you joined us late, they had it right at the goal line, and the quarterback Ward fumbled, and the Phantoms were able to recover in the end zone and prevent the Warriors from scoring. So timeout called by the Warriors now with 1:48 remaining in the first half. Got all of our commercials in the first half here, Mr. Bob?
I think we've got most everybody we've recognized.
Yes, we have.
Have you talked about Hampton Chevrolet?
I have.
Have you talked about
I
Zooms?
have.
Have I talked about Tom Gear? I have.
I think they've all been mentioned now. They wanted to do the third quarter. We'll have to do that.
Well, let's wait for the third quarter.
There you go. Bob, you started to mention the upcoming season. Of course, we have Friday night as the fans are watching this game. That game will already have been played, or being played, but we have Kempsville playing Hampton here at Darling Stadium. Then the 10th, a week from tomorrow, Bethel and Kickintan. So we get into the real meat of the order. After that, it's Hampton and Bethel. It just gets better and better all the time.
It really does. We got two Newport News schools this year. We got Denby and Kickintan on the 24th of September, Bethel and Heritage on the 8th. In between, though, we have Kickintan and Phoebus on the 1st of October.
So every Friday night,
on the 15th, Phoebus and Bethel. The 22nd of October, Hampton and Kickintan. And on the 29th, our last regular scheduled game, Phoebus and Hampton on the 29th of October. That'll be a great game.
always is. And if the Warriors were able to draw the Phantoms into the neutral zone, they don't have to even make contact. If they got in that neutral zone, it would be a 5-yard mark-off, but it won't be enough for a first down. That's what the call is. It's an encroachment.
That'll make a third and a whole lot better than you were. Third and 12, and now you got third and about 7.
Third down, 7.
So the Phantoms, a little overly anxious, will undoubtedly be reminded to stay home now. Ward on the keeper, and Ward is close to and has the first down.
Oh, I tell you, he run out of a lot of people's hands that time.
Penalty flag on the play at the line of scrimmage, however. Have to see how this one is called. They're talking to the Phantoms, so that
doesn't hold
bode
good for
well.
the Warriors, does it?
That doesn't. See what referee Mitchell tells us. Illegal procedure is the call against the Warriors, so that will negate the first down play by Ward.
But it also will take them back where they were just before the encroachment by the Phantoms.
So they bring him back to the 36-yard line. So again, we're right back, as you said, to the original 3rd down and 12. So 2 plays have run off, and we're right back where we were.
Well, but what also happens is now that they've lost that time on the clock is running now. The Warriors still have, I think, 2 timeouts
Yes,
left.
they do. They have used just that one a little moment ago.
We'll put a tight end at the top.
Ward, he wants to pass, and the ball is jarred loose, and I believe it's been recovered by Fan. It is.
It is, because his hand was not coming forward.
Knocked it right out of his hands, and Jason Fan comes up with the ball, and Ward is sitting there shaken up, just sitting on the seat of his pants. He's not sure what happened.
He's not real happy with what happened, I know. But what a nice defensive play by the Phantoms.
I believe it actually is an interception. I'm not sure the ball ever even hit the ground. If we can get a chance to see that again.
1st and 10.
So mental and physical. Here's the replay. And I couldn't see if it was in fact an interception, but it was at least a fumble recovery by Jason Fan. So the Warriors were moving the ball, but now are on defense. Joe Lewis receives the pass, and he's in Warrior territory. That'll be enough for a 1st down at the 48-yard line. That'll stop the clock while they move the chains. The Warriors on defense now, but the Phantoms will have just 1 timeout remaining, so they'll want to get up to the line of scrimmage. But again, to their advantage, the clock is stopped until the chains are set. So the Warriors going without a huddle, waiting for the officials to get the ball set to play, and they do. Now the clock is restarted. Mizell hands the ball fumbled momentarily by Sarkey, but he was able to regain possession and pick up maybe a half a yard. And now the Phantoms will have to burn their 3rd and final timeout.
What a nice pass. The play before that, nice fake by Mizell in the backfield and hitting his fullback coming out of the backfield on a swing pattern. And nice execution that time. Picked up about 12 yards, but then on the handoff, nothing going. You got to burn your timeout. Looks like to me that the Phantoms may put the ball in the air. You want to, look for a sideline passes, maybe get in field goal range. But with this wind, a long field goal is going to be treacherous to say the least.
54 seconds remaining now. The Phantoms are going to have to use the sidelines or at least to hurry up if they want to have a chance. They've got 48 yards to go.
Well, they do have the advantage of making a 1st down and the clock stopping at that point. But you're right. They're going to have to use the sideline if they want to move this ball down the field. And you can use it by running out of bounds as well as passing and going out of bounds.
2nd and 10.
Shotgun formation.
Last time they were in the shotgun, Mizell ran straight, and then he does this time. Now shovels it forward for Sarkey, and that play just takes much too long to develop, and they gain of about maybe 2. So the Phantoms will have to hurry up now as it's 3rd down, the clock moving, 36 seconds and moving. Mizell wants to throw it up for grabs. He's got a man in that vicinity. A flag down on the near sideline as the pass is incomplete, stopping the clock with 24 seconds remaining.
Well, the flag is that the Phantoms had a receiver that backed off the line of scrimmage and was not set for a second. So, that's illegal procedure.
Yep. Now, if you're Nansemond, you got to figure they might refuse the penalty and make it 4th down and 7. Here's the replay. You see the jump ball, which was all for naught because it was incomplete.
But you see how that wind held that ball up, throwing into the wind a little bit, going to that side of the field.
Interesting. The Warriors accepted the penalty. Yeah, it would have been 4th and long, and now they give them 3rd and long. I can't quite understand why you'd give them an extra down here.
I don't either.
interesting call, but that's why the coaches are down there and I'm up here. They know more about what they're doing than I do, that's for sure.
Well, they should know more about what they're doing than you do.
Wait a minute, let's not get on their side completely here. Again, Mizell wants to run. He's got the corner. And now he'll go out of bounds at the 30. That will be enough for a first down, but it leaves just 16 seconds in the quarter.
Yeah, and a good point on that before, Tim. Why not refuse a penalty, put them in a fourth down? They got to punt the ball. The center has not got the ball back. Put on a punt block.
All right.
Well, it's the 31-yard
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to second guess anyone, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, and I'm with you.
That's got to be a first in 19 years, right? Here's Mizell coming right at you. And he is headed for the sideline. He said, I'm going to get my first down and get out of bounds. So fresh set of downs, 16 seconds to go. Shanks out on the pattern as well as a touchdown.
A touchdown. Number 21, Brian Stanley, split in.
Brian Stanley, a 31-yard touchdown pass. That's why you don't give him another down.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head.
So Stanley on the receiving end of the 31-yard pass by Mizell. And Mizell has thrown for one, and now he has also scored one. And with just 7 seconds, that's right, it's 007 on the board. James Bond's about to tack on point number 21 here. This is Pavlik. He'll try to make it 3 touchdowns. It's certainly long enough, and it's right through the uprights.
We got a flag.
A penalty flag down on the play. And
Maybe roughing the kicker.
I heard someone suggest that. See the Phantoms applauding it, so it doesn't appear as if it'll go against them. This might be tacked on to the kickoff.
Well, and if you're Phantoms, Tim, I'd onside kick it.
Certainly wouldn't give them anything they can run back.
Oh, no, sir. Squib kick it or something, one of the two.
Came back to haunt him and he didn't get the ball up with the wind. They should have punted it. Go ahead and
All right. Made no sense. Got a personal foul, roughing the kicker. And so they'll assess that penalty on the kickoff, I'm assuming.
So the point stands.
Yes.
So, in fact, the Phantoms will kick off from the Nansemond 45-yard line.
15-yard penalty will now be assessed against the Warriors for the roughing the kicker call.
15 yards.
So the Phantoms will kick off from the 45-yard line of the Warriors.
He's going to run and score.
There you see the scoreboard. Nansemond down by 3 touchdowns. And how big is that fumble that they had in the end zone, which would have made it 7-all. Instead, it was Phoebus football, and they eventually scored 2 more touchdowns. Pavlik will kick it off, and he squibs it as you and I had suggested he might. That ball will just be fallen upon at the 20-yard line, and Nansemond River now with just 6 seconds. So just 1 second comes off the clock because it didn't start till it's touched. So Nansemond now with 2 timeouts remaining, but really just time enough to make 1 play. And Coach V may just decide, let's get into the locker room here and regroup.
Well, you know, they've had a couple plays that are shaky. One was a fumble in the end zone, and then the not taking the not refusing the penalty and putting Phoebus in a punting situation and allowed them to get another touchdown. Down 21 points coming out second half is really a big obstacle to overcome.
And the Warriors will do just as I had suggested they might. They'll just take a knee here and get this first half in the books, and it is. So we've played the first half of the ball game, and it's at halftime. Phoebus 21, Nansemond River nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the 3rd quarter of action after this brief timeout.
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this
Back here at Darling Stadium at halftime, the score is Phoebus 21 and Nansemond River nothing. In the first half, the Warriors of Nansemond River rushed the ball 22 times. They had 27 yards total rushing. They completed 3 of 5 pass attempts, no interceptions, 36 yards total. They had 63 yards total offense in the first half. They were penalized 4 times for 30 yards. They had 7 first downs. They fumbled the ball 3 times, and they lost all 3. And certainly the most costly of those 3 was the fumble in the end zone that at the time would have tied the score at 7. But instead it allowed the Phantoms to get the ball back and ultimately add 2 more touchdowns to their totals. The leading rusher in the first half, Dominique Chambliss, had 6 carries for 22 yards. And Dante Hicks caught 2 passes for the Warriors for 23 yards to be the leading receiver. For the Phantoms in the first half, they had 17 carries for 64 yards total rushing. They completed 3 of 6 passes, no interceptions, and a total of 56 yards. And of course, a touchdown pass to Stanley from Leon Mizell of 31 yards was the 3rd and final touchdown in the first half. Phantoms were penalized 5 times for 42 yards. They registered 9 first downs. They did fumble the ball, but they did not lose it. Leading rusher was Musa Sarki, who had 9 carries for 28 yards. And the leading receiver, on the strength of that 31-yard TD pass, Brian Stanley, 1 catch for 31 yards. A total of 120 yards offense for the Phantoms. Their scoring again was started on a 29-yard fumble recovery by Eric Edmonds on the very first offensive play of the game for Nansemond River. Then Mizell added a touchdown with a 1-yard run. The kick was the extra point was good by Paul Pavlik to make it 14-0. And then on a strange decision, in my opinion,
and not only in your opinion,
the Warriors allowed the Phantoms, instead of a 4th down and 7, gave them a 3rd down and 12 when they could have accepted the penalty and forced the Phantoms to either punt the ball or go for it on 4th down. Gave them another down, and it led to 2 plays by Mizell, one a quarterback keeper that set up the 31-yard touchdown pass to Stanley, and that rounded out the scoring after 1 half, 21-0 Phoebus.
Tim, we will pick a player from the Phoebus Phantoms tonight for the player of the game, and that player receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter DC Engraving, located on Route 17 in Yorktown at Tab Square, and the shirt comes from Islander Hardware Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin.
We are set to go. The ball is teed up. Phantoms will kick off. This is Pavlik. And the relatively short kick is taken at the 23-yard line by Yancey. Maurice Yancey still on his feet and wrestled down at the 36-yard line where the Warriors will start 1st and 10. Just a reminder.
Big 78 made the tackle that time, Mario Blackley.
Here's the replay
79.
Replay of the kickoff. From the ground level, this is Yancey. You can see him trying to get to the outside and wrestled to the ground, as I mentioned. Bulldogged. 36-yard line is where the Warriors will start. Chatham Ward, the quarterback. Over the middle and almost caught. That was intended for Brian Rizzo. He took a good shot.
And that was Maurice Shanks that hit him good. And Maurice a little slow getting up, but he says, I'm okay.
Maurice.
Well, he said, maybe I ought to take a breather.
And Maurice got the worst of that, it looks like. Good hard hit.
Yes,
there's been some good hits. Anytime you see Phoebus play, you're going to see some hard hits.
Tim, let me tell you, get a chance, I will want to recognize the coaches in both of these staffs tonight. At the end of this play, I'll do that.
Wind is whipping around now, and a little bit of a sprinkle coming down, although nothing significant at this point.
Nathaniel Braxton said keeping your fingers crossed and knocking on wood or whatever it is you've been doing.
All of those things. Across the 40 to the 41 is Chambliss. That's Dominique Chambliss, the 5'11 junior.
Let me give you the coaches for the Nansemond River. Jerry Vacato, assisted by John Wright, Mike Watson, Vernon Lee, James Jones, Frank O'Brien, and Brian Roundtree. And for the Phantoms, we have Bill Diaz ahead, Greg Navard, Stan Sexton, Dick Van Dyke, Greg Day, Bob Sislow, Ron Johnson, Chuck Stewart, and Courtney Connors.
Third down for the Warriors. 3rd down and 5 at the 41-yard line. Ward play action, rolling to his left. Has a little running room, tries to get away from the tackler, but will not get the first down as the pursuit was there on a good defensive effort by the Phantoms.
Well, you're right, Tim, because it looked like he had an open field out there, but the Phantoms did a good job of turning him back into where the pursuit was, and he didn't get a chance to do anything.
Musa Sarki, among others, was there. Here's the replay. You'll see they just wouldn't allow him to turn that corner, and sure tackling prevented the first down. 4th down and a long yard. And it would appear as though Nansemond is going to go for it.
Well, and they may try to draw him offside too, Tim. They've done that earlier. But this, in your end of the field, this is a dangerous call. But look for a quarterback sneak on. We got quick movement.
Yeah, it looked like one of the Warriors left early. It looked like the right tackle moved early, and that will undoubtedly make the Warriors punt the ball if, in fact, the penalty goes against them.
And that's what it goes.
It will.
Gear Up Printing is the place to go for all your printing needs. Business cards, letterheads, etc. Get your personal touch that is only available at Gear Up Printing. They're located at 1909 North Armstead Avenue. Give Tom Gear a call at
827. All right, so they will have to kick it now with 4th and long. Good snap this time, but again, a low spiral, and Shanks will field it at the 35-yard line. Almost lost the ball in an effort to switch the ball from his one hand to the other, and picked up a 5-yard return out to the 40, where the Warriors, the Phantoms rather, will go on defense. The Warriors are on offense. I'll get it right yet. The Warriors on defense, the Phantoms on offense.
Well, it's early in the season.
I'm telling you, I got to get these bugs worked out. Here's Shanks. Watch right here. He lost the ball momentarily, but got it back, and then took a pretty good lick. Gained 5 yards, well earned.
Oh, I feel a little sprinkle coming in this
Yeah,
window.
a little bit of pre-sip coming in the window, but not too bad though. I'd rather have it this way than to be 90 degrees and perspiring all over the place.
Oh, I like this. Isn't too bad. I know the temperature-wise is good for the people on the field, but they probably could do without the wind anyway.
Sarki picks up 5 out to the 45-yard line. Now, if you're Bill D and you're relatively a conservative coach on offense anyway, do you throw the ball much here? I don't think so.
Well, he's picked the places to throw it, and the receiver for the most part has been pretty well open with the play-action passes. I think they're doing a good job of calling their plays and inserting the passes when it's least expected.
2nd and 5. Mizell gives to Sarki again, and he has the first down across midfield into Warrior territory. And I'll tell you why I think that they may not pass it is, first of all, you want to wear that clock out right now if you're the Phantoms. You want to shorten this game up.
But yeah, you're up 21 points.
And with the wind like it is, and a quarterback who's relatively untested, why run the risk? You know, it's like Hayes used to say from Ohio State. What are those?
3 yards and a cloud of dust.
Four
We're
things.
not going to get much. Oh, you're talking about 4 things can happen.
Yeah, and three of them
are
bad.
bad.
And what do we got? We got a timeout called by the Warriors. Apparently, they didn't have the personnel they wanted on the field. May not have had a full complement.
Yeah, I only had
So
10
they'll
players
burn the
out there,
timeout.
it looks like. Maybe that's what it was. Tim, HCS Reports on Channel 46 has a new look with a new anchor, Beth Sadler, and they are going to televise Monday through Friday at 12 noon and at 5 p.m. you will get all the news and information about the Hampton City Schools. So tune in to a new look on HCS Reports.
And speaking of checking things out, check out the neighborhood Zooms. They have 5 Hampton locations and soon to come a Newport News location up in the Hydenwood section.
And I tell you what, the income at that store will dramatically increase every night after a Friday night game.
Every Friday
Tim
night
goes by. You're like a magnet. You're going to pull
right.
and get some potato wedges and some chicken as Bob and I will be coming by to partake.
Come on, bring it on. I got my satellite dish. We'll pump up the NFL. Throw
You know,
that
you
chicken
told me
in.
you just got yours hooked up. Tim, you got your priorities wrong. I had mine installed before I moved to the new house. You waited almost a month or more.
That's true, I did.
I don't know. Where are your priorities?
See, I had that digital Cox cable which they have in Newport News, which really, in my opinion, is even better. By the way, Cox, if you're listening, this is a small commercial, but the digital system is really great. The Cox cable system, and the only reason I got the satellite is so I could get that NFL package.
Yeah, that's it. That's a great package.
You got that all cranked up, I assume.
Yes, I do. We're ready to go.
Talk about what that cost you. See if I got a deal. See, I went to my local appliance distributor.
You got a deal?
Oh yeah.
And you didn't get me a deal?
Well, you've had yours for a couple of years. No, what I did was the deal's offered to everybody right now. When you sign up for the NFL package, you get 3 months of their total platinum package, which is everything they offer. All the Cinemaxes, all the HBOs, all the Showtimes, and all 3 months for free.
How come I didn't get that?
Well, you already had your satellite. See?
Oh, so you're just like a brand new guy.
Yeah, I'm a brand new guy.
Yeah. They know you're not a brand new guy.
Well, we're not talking about that. No, actually, it didn't matter because I haven't had it because when I moved last time, I couldn't get it because I had a big tree in the way. Phantoms moving the ball down inside the 30, close to the 35.
We'll see some umbrellas coming out.
Yeah, it got a little bit of mist out there, but we've been pretty lucky tonight because it could have been a real gully washer, and fortunately most of this game has been dry.
You're talking about the satellite dish. Danny Hilling, good friend of mine, just got his, and he got it because he is a Vikings fan, as is your
my
wife.
Yes.
And he says, you don't get to see the Vikings. I says, with that NFL package, you will.
Yeah, they'll be on. They're on 2 or 3 times on Monday night football, and then they're the national game the very first weekend. They had that rematch with Atlanta. Sarkey now in the ball game. That before that carry, which he picked up almost 3, had 13 carries for 45 yards.
Well, that's the first time we've seen the option run by the Phantoms.
But yeah, I was coming. I went down to Lake Gaston to see Legs Boney last weekend. Just watch the replay here.
How is Boney doing?
He's doing wonderful. He's just looking marvelous. But
did you get him out on the golf course?
As a matter of fact, I did. We went down and played golf down at the Lake Gaston Golf Club and had a great
shot
great time.
2 over par, right?
He did. Yeah, I didn't. But I'm getting there. I'm going to surprise you next time we play.
Good for you.
I've had my lessons now. I still got 2 more lessons to go.
Nice tackle by number 22 that time, Barnes.
What I was going to tell you, though, Bob, is I was going on those country roads down there to Lake Gaston. Well, some places have cable, but not everywhere. Every house down there on the country roads. Satellite dishes.
Yeah,
everywhere.
I can believe it.
Everywhere. Ball is marked at the 30-yard line now. The Phantoms looking at a 4th down and 2, and they're going to call a timeout because they're not exactly certain what they want to do in this circumstance. That's a long ways for a field goal. That ball would be about a 47-yard field goal if they tried it.
In good weather,
yeah.
I think Pavlik would have a chance, but in this weather with this wind, there's just no way to determine what that wind's going to do to that ball.
Well, and I'm not sure that you can see it on the TV screen if we were to pan over there, but there's this mist now that is drifting across the field. If we have a shot up near the lights, you would be able to see it. And again, it's not real heavy, but it is starting to come down in a pretty consistent mist. And if that's the worst that we end up with, we'll be very happy. Hopefully we'll have good weather Friday night for the Hampton-Kempsville game as Hampton starts their drive for 5 and Kempsville has the unenviable task of being the opening game opponent.
Well, and not only that, is new coach over Kempsville. So, you know, you get your new first year at Kempsville, and you're the new head coach. And who do you get to start off with?
Let's see.
Defending four-time state champ. Whoa. That's not an enviable task.
All right, the Phantoms going for it, or at least appearing to, on 4th down. On a play action, Mizell's got the running room. He has the first down and more. All the way down to the 22-yard line. Mizell picks up 8 yards.
Tim, what a beautiful fake to the tailback going into the line. I mean, you thought he had the ball.
And Nansemond River just bought it. Watch here on the replay. They nailed him 69, or 68 rather. Decided after that he realized that Eric Howell, that is, realized it wasn't the right man with the ball, and by then Mizell had the first down.
Too late. Nice faking.
I'm impressed
by Leon.
I am impressed by him too. I've been very pleased to see the way this offense is played tonight, and they've got a good-looking offensive attack. Handoff this time goes, looked like Faison that time. Actually, number 7, I believe, got the call. It might have been Sarkey. Let's see. That's Sarkey. Sarkey got the call, so they continue to move it.
Well, he's not a real big guy, so, you know, you got to give him a little seam to get through there. If there's no little seam, then he's not going to bowl over too many people.
This is a nice-looking drive for the Phantoms. They've had the ball now for about 7 minutes, and they've just continued to just drive, not passing until now. They do, and that's the beauty of it. Dennis Taylor makes the grab and picks up the first down.
Was that a nice call?
That was a beautiful call.
Put the man in motion, pull the linebacker over to the right a little bit, delay that tight end coming across the middle, and just a little old dump pass to him. The wind doesn't have a chance to mess with it. Watch this pre-play. Boom. And see, that wasn't a pretty pass, but it doesn't have to be pretty.
Oh, it was beautiful. If you're a famous Phantom, that was a gorgeous pass.
Well, I'm talking about
you're talking about a spiral. Yeah,
and so boom, you just got to get it to him quick.
Well, you know Nansemond River is looking for the run. Oh, nice defensive play. Ooh. What a surge by the Ward. Chatham Ward playing both sides of the ball, and he looked like he had made that call in the huddle himself.
Yeah, he knew where that ball was going, didn't he?
Sure looked like it, because he was there and he was on top of him instantly.
Well, see, he plays a strong safety, Tim, and he pulled up the line of scrimmage and was a safety blitz that time. Just kind of read something in the thing.
Just saw the very end of that. So the ball is at the 13, 2nd down and goal. 3:20 left here in the 3rd period as the Phantoms controlling the clock and moving the ball. Up by 3 touchdowns. Floater in the corner. This is for Maurice Shanks, and again, that ball would normally be a floater. It's what they call a fade pass, but that wind just blew it all over the place.
Maurice didn't have a shot at it. I mean, it looked like he did, but that ball was floating and just being blown out of his area. Watch it. You can see how that thing just kind of died on it, like a downdraft.
So 3rd and goal, and the Phantoms bring 2 wide receivers to the near side, and Mizell instead keeps it, and Mizell gets away from a tackler, gets away from another tackler, now has some running room. If he can get a block here, he might get the corner, but a good job on defense. Ball is fumbled, and the Phantoms come up with it, but what a great pursuit that time by the Warriors, number 10, James Wesson.
Tim, not only did he fight off the blocker, knocked the ball out of the hand of Mizell and made the tackle.
And is it Mizell or Mizell?
Mizell.
I'm not sure which, but he's come up a little gimpy. And here he comes. Tried to put a move on him, and Wesson was just not going to buy it. In fact, stripped the ball from him. And Al Pavlik will come on and try a 32-yard field goal. Mizell comes off to the sideline. He's okay, I think. He just came up a little gimpy. Might have gotten a cramp. It's real damp out there tonight. Damp and cool. From the 22, a 32-yard attempt is going to be short. Had the right alignment, but it just didn't get enough leg. And so there you see our score as we now have 2:06 remaining. The Phantoms didn't score, but they took about 8 minutes off the clock,
And
which
they've
they would
shortened
just
this
as
game
soon,
up considerably. You're
just as
right.
soon done that as they'd love to have had the score, but so now the ball will come to the 20-yard line on the touchback, and the Warriors of Nansemond River will have it trailing 21-0. Joined us late, Nansemond River out of the Southeastern District, 8-2 on the season last year, and coming over here to play a Peninsula District team because the Peninsula District has just 10 teams, so each of the Peninsula teams has to align themselves with some non-district game in order to fulfill their 10-game schedule. Out of the I formation, Chatham Ward, the quarterback, and wanted to hand it off, and his running back stumbled and didn't have anyone to give it to and picks up 4 yards.
On
So
a broken play, that was a good move by Ward.
Get 4 on a broken play, you take that almost any time.
That's right.
But he's extremely athletic. I'm not sure I'd put him in the same breath as Ronald Curry, but he is that type of quarterback. You see the running back just fell down as he started from his three-point stance and lost his footing. So Ward had no choice but to keep the ball and picked up 4. Second down and half a dozen. We're down to 1:30. The clock is moving. Double wide receivers to the near side. On the option. Got a man open, and he got him around the corner. That is a nice running play on the option by number 34, who I don't have a name to go along with the number.
Probably DeAndre White. No, I don't know. He's one of the running backs.
Might be. Well, we'll have to figure it out post-game who that was. Here's your replay. A nice play nonetheless.
Well,
to
they did
get
a
around
good
there.
job of finding the seam that time and just cut up and went between the outside man, got kicked out, opened up a little seam in there.
First down, ball just shy of the 40. Let's call it the 39. Ward fakes. Now on a stop and go, he's got a man open, but he overthrew him. And it's incomplete. Hampton Chevrolet is a locally owned business, and they strongly believe in supporting both the community and the school system. Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. So the pass a little too long for Dante Hicks, and that stops the clock with 1:07 remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 10.
He's involved in passing yardage, rushing yardage, and score.
Hey, Mike, how's you ready? What is 34?
Clock is stopped with 1:07.
What's 34, man?
Second down and 10. Talking about Ronald Curry, got a big game this Saturday.
Against Virginia.
UVA.
And it's being televised.
Yes, it is.
We got a new quarterback.
Yeah, got a different quarterback in there. Fleet-footed flag down. And all he did, unfortunately, for the Warriors was run east and west instead of north and south.
That's Keith Jeggets, 5'11", 185 sophomore, but we have a call going to go against the Warriors.
Watch the replay here from the ground angle. And he just never got a chance to turn the corner. Once again, that very quick pursuit by the Phantom defense just prevented him from ever getting a chance to turn the corner. They got a holding call against the Warriors. So a 10-yard penalty is assessed. Second down and 20 to go for Nansemond River. Again, we remind you this weekend here on Channel 46, this game along with the Hampton-Kempsville game, check the message board there for the times these games will be airing. We'll also repeat those for you when we get another chance here. That pass just never, ever was going to be in the vicinity of the receiver. Good coverage down the sideline and the ball well off the mark.
Well, I don't know if Keith Jeggets is in there because Chatham Ward is injured or what. I'm trying to find him over on the sideline.
If he'd have cut back to the middle, he'd have had touchdown.
Here's your replay. Good coverage, and just had to throw it more quickly than he wanted to, I think.
Here comes Chatham Ward back. It looked like he had an equipment problem, Tim.
Third down, 20 yards to go for the Warriors.
So with 53 seconds remaining and the stoppage of the clock on the incompleted pass.
10-4.
This is Ward, and Ward gets about 3 as he slips down at the 32-yard line. And that'll bring up a 4th down and long, but we've got another penalty flag down, I believe.
Well, Tim, it's going to be a little bit slick with this kind of mist coming on. It's just going to hang right at on the grass, and of course, right in the center, there's some bare spots. You're not going to be able to plant and make your cut as well as you could earlier.
Illegal motion is the penalty call, and this will be declined by the Phantoms, bringing up a 4th down. So the Phantoms want the ball back. So Artis will be back in deep punt formation.
Shanks will go back as a deep man.
4th down and 17. Bad snap. The ball is loose, and the Phantoms will have it inside the 15-yard line.
Well, every snap has been very low, and then all of a sudden the center says, well, I'm going to make sure I get it back there, and just put too much on it.
Well, you know, in the pregame show, you either got this information, I'm assuming you got it from Coach V, that their punting game was suspect, but that was about their punter.
No,
you didn't know it was their snapper that was a problem.
No, but I that was strictly
off the top of your head.
I didn't talk to anybody about that.
But the punting
I
game.
was watching them kick earlier,
Yep.
and you can see by warm-ups how well they're punting the ball, and the Nansemond River young man was not getting the ball up in the air.
Mizell hands off to Joe Lewis, who drags tacklers for 4 yards down to the 10-yard line, which might have been the last play of the third quarter.
Well, if you're Phoebus, you just kind of take your time and change end zones and go into fourth quarter with a 21-point lead.
And that will, in fact, be the last play as time will run out on the quarter. So we've played 3, and our score is the same as we had it at halftime. It's Phoebus 21 and Nansemond River nothing. Well, 12 minutes remaining in this regular season opener for both of these teams. And again, we'll be back here Friday night for Hampton-Kempsville. Then the following Friday night, we're here for Kecoughtan-Bethel, I think it is.
That's correct.
So we got a good game for you every Friday night here at Darling Stadium. But again, we strongly encourage you to bring the family out here. It's a great family affair. There's, usually you'll know what the weather's going to be like. If it's going to be rainy, we'll watch it here on Channel 46 if you can't get out to the game. But make plans to bring the family out here. It's a very inexpensive evening. The food from the concession stand is great. There's lots of security here. There's no reason for you to be concerned about your safety. It's just a great time to be had by the family.
It really is, Tim, and very inexpensive to do that. We will pick a player of the game from the Phoebus Phantoms tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter DC Engraving, and they're located at Tab Square on Route 17 in York County. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim or Dave at 596-8850. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods. They're located in Pocosin, and they can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniform, plus they have screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. That's 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. Printing is our only game, and we are very good at it. And they are very good at what they do. So whatever your printing needs, give them a call. And we're talking about Gear Up Printing. Give them a call. Talk to Tom Gear at 827-8277.
All right, fourth quarter set to get underway. Play action fake. Mizell has Shanks open in the end zone. Touchdown.
Nice catch. Nice catch.
11-yard pass to Shanks.
Does a good job rolling to his right, getting the ball. He had a receiver in the back of the end zone that was open, but it was a much shorter receiver. Shanks, pretty good size young man, who watched the replay. And you see that he got the ball into his pads a little bit and it bounced, but he said, I'm not going to lose this one.
Well, that wind continuing to play tricks with the ball. Earlier, if you joined us late, Shanks wide open behind the defense, but unable to hold on to a floater, and lost a chance there to score a sure 6 on any other occasion. Phantoms got a 11th player on the field late. Pavlik tripped up as he kicked it, but he didn't care as it went through the uprights, and he's perfect tonight, 4 for 4 on his extra point tries. He did miss a 32-yard field goal attempt, but he's been perfect otherwise, and the Phantoms now have stretched the lead out to 28-0, looking to start the season off on a positive note, and Bill D has to be pleased with the way his team has played on both sides of the ball.
Well, and they haven't made too many mental errors tonight, which you kind of expect. First game jitters, you're going to get some offside, some encroachment, some different things like that. But overall, he's got to be pleased with the execution, especially offensively. I think they've done a good job of play calling. They've mixed it up. They've run the ball for the most part, passed when it was not expected. Defensively, they let Nansemond River move the ball that first quarter. And then after that, Nansemond River hasn't had a sustained drive. So you got to be kind of pleased with the way the team has responded.
Well, in this, Bob Killen was talking to me about it too during one of those breaks that, Bill D makes the subtle changes at halftime, and he adjusts the game as all coaches do to the score and to the conditions on the field and the opponent, and they've just done a fine job of doing that. Mizell in the game now has actually 2 touchdown passes and 1 rushing, 5 of 9 for 79 yards. But he's been the field general. He's really run the offense extremely well. He's had good, crisp handoffs to Joe Lewis and to Sarkey and the others, and they just look really well. They've just done a great job on both sides of the ball. If I'm Coach D, I got to be real pleased. Pavlik now will kick a squib, fielded at the 23-yard line. This is by Yancey again. And Maurice Yancey will get out across the 40 to about the 45-yard line, so the Warriors will have good field position.
But they got a steep mountain to climb. You're down 28 points, and you've got less than 12 minutes to go. This is not going to be an easy task. So I don't know if they're going to open it up or they're going to say, listen, we're not going to be able to score 28 points in a quarter. Let's work on some of our plays. Let's do some creative signal calling and see what we can do.
Yancey stepped out of bounds. They've ruled at the 41-yard line. That's where the Warriors will start. Seems to be a little confusion now. The Warriors last couple of times have either had too many players on the field or not enough. That time they had to bring a player back. One of the beefy boys there in the middle, big kid. And Chatham Ward is running for his life.
I tell you, he's just running away from people.
What a beautiful job of picking up the first down when Chatham Ward looked like he was thrown for a loss.
Oh, it looked like he was, he was back around the 30-yard line. And it looked like, he wasn't going to get out of there. And this shows some athleticism. They talk about this young man. Very good.
And unfortunately, those sacks and stuff like that have really hurt his numbers. He got 18 carries for just 10 yards. Over the middle, almost picked off.
That was Shanks.
Yep. Maurice Shanks almost got his hands on it.
That's the intended receiver. Maurice Shanks breaking it up.
Clock stops with 11:24 left in the fourth quarter. And watch the replay here. You can see out of the shotgun, Ward, Shanks almost picked it off.
And in the shotgun, he may run it because he's very excellent at that position, but you can bet that the Phantoms are going to rush 4 or 5 players, except this time they're going to
Nice looking pass, but it's incomplete. They say the ball was trapped, so the official was right there to call the pass incomplete, and Ward still on the seat of his pants.
Well, I don't know how he got that ball off because both linebackers blitzed and were hanging on to him. If you watch the replay, right there, they're hanging on to his leg.
You see clearly that the ball was not caught, that it was scooting along the ground and incomplete. Out of the shotgun again, Ward just throws it deep, and Shanks goes back and picks it off at the 16-yard line. Maurice Shanks. So he has an interception to go along with a touchdown.
Well, I tell you, that ball was just kind of thrown up for grabs, it looked like. But I think the receiver didn't get the call because he didn't go deep.
And again, a wobbly pass with that wind. So the 16-yard line is where they'll start.
That's almost as good as a punt.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it was on 3rd down, not 4th down, but...
Yeah, well, now you're going to undoubtedly watch the Phantoms try to keep the ball rolling on the ground. This is Joe Lewis. Lewis gets to the outside, drags the tackler out to about the 22-yard line, so he picks up about 7. And of course the clock is moving. Pickup of 7. Short 7, long 6, however you want to look at that.
Any way you want to call it.
And the mist has returned after a brief absence. This is Mizell, and he almost broke that one as he had some running room. Late flag comes down.
Yeah, they had a face mask. I think that's going to be the call.
Late flag. It looked like Mizell has enough for the first down. Let's see how the penalty goes. And it will be tacked on, so that will give them a first down. Here's the replay. Watch Mizell here. And I didn't see whether he says, I got my face mask grabbed, and the official says, you're right.
We're going to throw a flag.
So that'll be tacked on. That's 15.
Face pass.
So the first down was already gained, but now tack 15 onto that. Brings the ball all the way out to the 43-yard line.
10 balls at the 1, 2, 43-yard line.
They're trying to score 50.
First down.
We keep trying to play our guys.
Again, keeping the ball on the ground. This is Faison this time. Hey, after the game, make the trip to Zooms. Zooms is your friendly neighborhood store with 5 convenient Hampton locations. They have great food, sit-go gas, everything you need right at one location. Zooms. Watch the replay here. Very end of the replay.
I have no idea who's on the replay. Maybe Bob could call down and find out for us. I know on camera we have Susan Bowers, Nathaniel Braxton,
and Ron Baton.
Ron Baton.
Who we got working in the van tonight, Bob? Can you check that out for us?
Yeah, we have Andy Foley doing the graphics and audio.
Oh, Shanks had it and couldn't hold it.
Don Girouse is the engineer.
Scotty Bowers is the director.
He the main man.
Do we know if Bev is here? I didn't get to the
I
van.
don't know if she's here or not. That's why I need to know. Ask Killen to ask down there.
We had the longest pregame show I've ever done.
We won't talk to her. We don't need to go there.
Did it a couple of times. We finally got it right, though. We had a little bit of microphone problems.
This place 3 in their hands get tough.
Who's working replay tonight?
Who isn't working replay today?
So Beverly's not here, Beverly Penn's not here?
What?
Is Bev Penn here?
Is that Penn here? What? No.
Mizell, close to another first down. Well, I wanted to make sure because I wanted to give credit to the right people and they didn't know whether it was here or not. Going to be close enough for the officials to probably bring the chains
Mr. Eagle
across.
Eye, you got your chance.
Well, if I can
sounds like the engineer Don Strauss is on the
Yes, he
instant
is.
replay.
Don is doing the replay. Let me see if we can get the officials to move out of the. I can't see where the ball is marked here, but I'm going to go out on a limb anyway, as I normally would. Most of us
You have a
birds
saw
will.
with you?
That's right. We'll do my usual. If I could just get even a glimpse of the ball, that would be helpful. I'm going to say they got the first down. Got it by about the length of the football. Got it by the length of the football.
Sir, I can't.
Well, maybe half a football.
All right.
Good call.
Good call. I'm 1 for 1.
You got it today. You got it. You're back on track.
Keep score for me this season now.
I'll do that.
So the 47-yard line is the line of scrimmage, and the fresh set of downs crank the clock, and the clock is moving with 8:44 left in the fourth quarter. The Phantoms want to just wear that clock out. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. That was an interesting play. That was not ruled to be offside. He must have timed that perfectly. I'm trying to see who that was. I'm going to pick up the
I think
number.
that was Chathamy Ward.
That was Chathamy Ward, yeah.
Coming in from that safety position. On
Came up and right up the middle. I don't know if we have that on replay or not. That was a very unusual play. He literally vaulted over the center to try and grab Mizell. Watch this. So you can see him. He got sandwiched just as he did it. And the Warriors' defense worked fairly well in that case. It gave a 3-yard gain on the play. Second down and about 7. But as importantly, the clock continues to move for the Phantoms. Mizell wants to throw, swings it left side. Joe Lewis. Lewis has a lot of pursuit in his face, and he'll pick up some tough yardage to about the 41.
Joe wanted to get his shoulder squares and go straight up the field, and it was hard to do that with your feet kind of slipping a little bit on that turf out there. But he's more of a north to south runner than he is east to west and a cutter.
See him there. He did try to cut back, but he had 3 Warriors from Nansemond River surrounding him at the time. Now there you see the scoreboard. 28 for the Phantoms, nothing for Nansemond River. We're less than 7 minutes remaining. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and the Channel 46 crew, along with Bob Killen, doing our statistics tonight. I want to thank Bob for his usual on-the-spot statistics. Mizell wants to throw. He completes it. Shanks has got it. And he is over the yard marker at the 32-yard line. That'll be another first down. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of tonight's ball game after this brief timeout. Back at Darling Stadium, you missed one play. That was a 4-yard rush by Antonio Faison.
And listen, that young man packed into a small package. He's only 5'9", 195, but he showed some power when he got to the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 6 as we are now less than 6 minutes to go. Mizell fumbled the ball from center, but got it back and picked up a yard or 2. Let's call it a yard gain. It'll be at the 27-yard line. It's 3rd down and 5 to go for the Phantoms. And again, they would just love to keep this clock moving and just keep driving it down 5 yards, 4 yards at a clip, and just eventually put it in the end zone if they can, but more importantly, just burn off all that time.
Well, and this is the time when you think they'll keep it on the ground, but don't be surprised if we see a pass.
And that's what they do. Shanks in the flat. Got some nice blocking out there. Shanks, and short of the goal line. He's going to be down at about the 1 yard line. A couple of Warriors down on the ground. I think Ward's is just more out of frustration. Chatham Ward having some words with some of the guys on the sidelines.
I tell you, Tim, that was an excellent call on that. That's a flanker screen, so to speak, with one blocker out there.
Nansemond River now will take a timeout. That'll be their second, and it'll be first and goal inside the 5 yard line with 5:09 remaining. So the Phantoms doing exactly what they want to do here. Burn the clock up and score some points if possible. So the umbrellas are back in vogue as a little bit of a mist coming down, but again, nothing real serious. There's certainly nothing that the fans would be highly uncomfortable in. And temperature for the game has just been perfect in the low 70s.
Oh, it really has. It's in the low 70s.
Just where my golf game is going to be here when I'm through, Bob. Man, I'm telling you, I'm working on that thing.
Killing, you hearing that? This guy is challenging us.
Oh, I am, most definitely. In the game now, Mizell has 113 yards passing and 32 yards rushing, and he's scored a touchdown and thrown 2 for touchdowns. So I think our man there, Mr. Mizell, might be a strong contender for player of the game, Bob. What do you think?
I tell you, him, Shanks, Sharkey, just to name 3 offensive players, but you got to look at also Fan did a great job. Blackley's done a great job out there, as Lachlan has. It's going to be tough.
Ryan Stanley with the 31-yard touchdown pass just before the half. That was a real backbreaker for Nansemond River. This is Faison, and Faison will walk in the end zone. That's 3. I'm sorry. I thought I saw 7. My apologies to Sarkey. It's 3, not 7. My apologies. That was Musa Sarkey who scored the touchdown from 4 yards out.
I thought it was 7. Was it? No. I thought it was 7. I thought it was 7 too.
Well, I'm confused. I think I was told by Bob's very alert wife that it was number 7, Faison, who scored the touchdown. Do we have that on replay again, Scotty? That's just, I want to make sure.
I thought it was Faison.
I thought it was Faison too.
Well, that is number 7.
Rather than 2 offense. What do you think?
Yeah.
It was 7, right? Yeah, I knew it was. I watched it.
Well, and I correct my correction.
I love this.
I'm telling you.
You fumbled, but you didn't fumble.
I had it right the first time, but then I looked up and I saw number 3, so I said, I thought it was Faison.
It's a good thing Tina is there keeping it straight, and she didn't even have her new glasses on.
I said 7.
Oh, and Bobby, don't take the credit when it's Tina.
He said 73 is what he said. It was a 73.
That's what I thought.
Now I looked up and I saw 3 over there, but I wish we had that on replay.
3 was excited.
Is that what it was? Oh, well, I wish they had it on replay again.
Well, they did, and you wouldn't look.
I can't see through your head. See?
Oh, that was my fault.
Well, sure it is.
Sure.
It's not going to be my fault. All right, in any event, it's 34-0, and Pavlik's kick is getting stronger and stronger as he tacks on his 5th extra point of the night.
And that was a field goal extra
I'm
point.
not talking this. He's just warming up now. All right, if we have it on replay, love to see that touchdown by we got a big bet going here in the booth now. This could be worth at least a Coca-Cola at Zooms after the game.
Let's make it interesting and put some potato
All right, put
wedges.
some wedges in there and some fried chicken. I guess we won't see that one again. But there's Susan Bowers. Let's make sure we give the proper credit here now. Sarah is not with us tonight. That's Susan.
Sarah's in college.
And Nathaniel Braxton is the other hearty soul up high. And then, of course, Ron Baton, who's barely even got, he doesn't even have a jacket on. Ron's tough. He told me when we were talking before the pregame, he says, I've been working out. He says, I've got to get in shape to carry this heavy camera around the whole game. You don't just, lay around the pool all summer and then
he does
that camera. No, sir. He said he's been lifting weights. He's buff. He told me to tell you that. He's buff.
He pumped.
Hey, talking about lifting weights, we'll get to that in just a second. Squib kick. Oh, that ball is a live ball. Let's see who got it. Looks like Nansemond River recovered. Ronald Curry was interviewed last night or the night before on local sports, and boy, is he beefed up. He's been in the weight room. His neck is all much thicker than it used to be, and he's real thick in the shoulders. Ronald Curry leading the North Carolina Tar Heels. There's your replay, and good job of covering that ball, as now the mist has gotten heavier. Unfortunately, we have less than 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. But right now, a lot of the fans are not only picking up the umbrellas, but they're picking up the stadium seats and headed for the parking lot.
Well, this game is virtually over. 4 minutes counting.
Now Nansemond River is going to have to call a timeout as they have some problems with the number of people on the field, I believe. I think they're short of players. Let's see, they got 4, 8, 10. Yeah, only hit 10 players. So first game jitters seem to be more prevalent on the far side of the field than on the near side. So the Warriors call a timeout with 4:40 left in the ball game, and a comfortable 35-0 opening game lead for Bill D's Phoebus Phantoms. And we want to congratulate Bill and his squad for a great effort tonight. And I think you and I have decided we're going to have dual players of the game tonight.
I think we should get dual players of the game. I really do.
And they are quarterback
Leon
Mizell with a superb evening. Signal calling, even if he hadn't thrown 2 touchdowns and run for one, his general overall leadership on the field was just as good as it could be for an opening game.
And then we have an offensive guard, defensive end.
Yep, we got
Jason
Fan who, with a fumble recovery, or at least might have been an interception. We're not even sure of that. The ball is tipped in the air, almost picked off.
Nice job by number 22, Travis McCray, knocking that ball away, but giving it a chance to get intercepted by one of his players.
We do want to point out that there were a lot of other players that warranted consideration.
Absolutely.
Musa Sarkis played an excellent ball game. Faces looked good. Maurice Shanks just superb with interception and a touchdown pass.
Lachlan.
2nd and 10.
The incomplete pass.
Joe Lewis has done a good job.
Joe Lewis has looked real strong running the ball. Catching the ball, too. He's got a pass coming out of the backfield. So a real overall effort by the Phantoms. And they lead comfortably 35-0 as Chatham Ward tries the right side on the quarterback keeper and picks up about 7.
Well, Tim, that was almost like a naked bootleg. He sent the people in motion to the near side of the field, and then he went on his own to the top of the field trying to break something. He's got a lot of athleticism that he's hard to tackle. Trying to get him out there one-on-one with a cornerback or a linebacker and trying to break something. Come by, get something positive.
Less than 4 minutes remaining in the ball game now. 3:45 and the clock moving. And what a lick! Good-looking hit put on number 7, Chambliss. And Chambliss has been invisible here in the second
half. He
half.
held him up, and Shanks the one that lowered the boom.
Yep.
We got 4th and a short 2.
So the Warriors now looking at a 4th down and about a yard as they need to get inside the Phantom 49-yard line to get a fresh set of downs.
Look for a quarterback keeper.
So we're down close to 3 minutes to go. Ward will keep it, and Ward will get very close.
Yeah, I tell you,
It'll just depend on where they mark his forward progress. If it's the official to the near side, he did not get it. No, he didn't get it. So he'll be a half a yard short, and that'll give the ball over to the Phantoms, and you can strike up the cigar and tell the fat lady to tune up.
Tune up, fat lady.
No question about it. He did not get the first down. Had to get to the 49, didn't get there. So you can stick a fork in him because it's time to light him up. 2:43. The Warriors with I got 6 more here to use. If they stretch this thing out long enough, we'll make the fans suffer just that much longer. No more cliches.
Hey, let's go 25 cents a hole on this thing.
15.
30?
We're going the wrong way here. I'm poor, Mr. Bob. I'm poor.
Oh.
Besides, you'll play 100 holes in a heartbeat. What is that?
Yeah.
How many days do you have to do that?
Probably a lot.
No, I mean,
That was one day. Yes.
Oh, one day?
Yes, 4th of October.
100 holes?
100 holes. I want to try.
I'd love to do that. That'd be fun.
Well, you want to do it? I can get you in as instead of being a sponsor, be one of the participants.
Oh, I'd love to. When is it? 4th of October?
4th of October is a Monday at the Hamptons.
Got to check and see what my schedule looks like, but that would be
Give me
for
a
good
call.
cause.
Yeah, I would rather have you as one of the participants.
Get some people lined up.
Yeah, and you just line up sponsors for yourself.
Let me see how that'll work out.
Okay.
We're busy talking golf over here. I think it was 15. He's a new, fresh jersey in there. And that's him again as he burst up the middle. And let's make sure we know who that is. Maury Pauling.
New quarterback out there, too.
Yep, he's just a junior is Pauling, and our new quarterback is Philip Brown. Understand that he's related to Mr. Brown.
That's the young man who was at Phoebus and went to Hampton High School.
Yeah. So Nansemond River pretty much has packed it in, and the defense is really giving kind of a half-hearted effort here. And Philip Brown gets the ball. So Hendrick is the quarterback. I, in fact, said Brown was the quarterback. He is also listed as a quarterback. But in fact, the quarterback is Ron Hendrick.
Right.
And the running back on that play, at least, was Philip Brown. Now he comes out along with Maury Pauling as Bill D gets an opportunity to put some players in who've probably practiced well and played hard in the preparation for this game and reward them with some time on the field.
Well,
now
and Brown is just a freshman.
Now Mike Dixon is in the backfield along with Kendrick. And this is Hendrick keeping the ball, rolling, looking, and completes the pass. That's Marlon Ellis, a sophomore, and he makes the grab at the 11.
Nice pass and catch.
So 1:02 remaining in the ball game.
And don't you know that this meat squad would love to put some points on the board?
You know they would. A flag on the play, by the way.
16 is the quarterback, Hendrick. 16? 16. And he's been the quarterback. 16 hits.
Well, they're bringing it back anyway.
Penalty on the play. So the pass completion is wiped out. We have an ineligible downfield. So that costs the Phantoms the penalty back to the 26-yard line. Hendrick remains a quarterback. Now he tosses it to Maurice Boone. 27. Boone has the corner, and he's going to score.
Yes, he did.
And he is just a freshman, Mr. Boone is, 5'7", 150 pounds.
Keep him straight.
So the Phantoms do what they really would, you know, these guys practice, as you call them, what did you call them, the meat squad?
Well, usually the ones that has to go against the first team offense, first team defense is always called the meat squad. And very seldom they get to come in as a unit and show some things. And you show some nice speed here and some promising young people coming up, freshmen.
Paul Pavlik will try to keep his night perfect on extra points. High snap, Mizell feels it, now has a man, and he gets the 2-point conversion on a deflection. When things are going well.
That was Shaheed Harris.
Yep, when things are going well, they go well for you all the way around. So a missed extra point snap from the center was high, and Mizell improvised and got 2 out of it. That was unintentional. Of course, you know, someone would say, hey, they're running up the score. That was not the intent there. And, you know, let's face it, too. If they say, well, gee, you know, you could have laid down and tried not to score, you're already up 35-0. As you said, these are the practice guys. These guys, second, third stringers, they want to go in there and score. That's what they play hard back in July and August, or at least August, when it was 100 degrees and they were sweating their tails off.
You got that right. We got a new kicker going to kick off, too, number 40. That's Mike Doherty. How do you pronounce that?
I think it'd be Daughtery.
Daughtery. Hey, you go, Daughtery.
We'll just call him Mike. So Bill's getting a lot of the young players in. They got the freshman. Boone looked real good on that end run there. He's just a freshman, and then the quarterback, Hendricks, a junior.
Freshman.
Phillip Brown's a freshman, like you said. So you got Brown, and there's a freshman. You got Boone as a freshman.
9 for 15 for 150 yards.
The team?
Mizell, 9 of 15 for 150 yards in the game, passing, and a couple of touchdowns. And he ran for 1 as well. Oh, went out of bounds. Tried to put it between the deep men and the up men. That'll cost him. That'll bring the ball all the way out to the 40-yard line.
And that's not a bad ploy, though. You don't give him a chance to run it back, but if that ball would have stayed in bounds, it would have really been a great kick.
So what it does is it allows Nansemond River to take the ball at their 35-yard line. So our players of the game, Leon Mizell, the quarterback, and Jason Fan, and many others strongly considered for that role. Superb effort, as you might imagine, 43-0. Chatham Ward still in at quarterback. And looks like they might have taken too much time. Illegal procedure is the call against the Warriors. Bob, do you have the air times for this game and the Hampton-Kempsville game? Would remind the fans one more time.
I have it somewhere. Where did it go?
I know the Hampton game is Saturday at 4 and Tuesday at 7, I believe you said.
Right, and
this game is Friday and Sunday, I believe you said.
And I don't know where I did with it. I had it somewhere.
No, I didn't mean to do that to you. I thought you had it right at your fingertips there.
Well, I lost it.
What is snapping back to him? He's snapping up under the foot.
Well, we're having a hard time getting these final 46 seconds played. Penalty against Nansemond River again. This is a legal procedure.
They were trying to throw it there, so he's back in the shotgun. The guy snapped it up under the button, so it's back in the back.
Ward again sends a man in motion. Ward wants to throw. He's got a man wide open, but he can't quite hold on to it at the 35-yard line. Intended receiver was Chris Artis, and that stops the clock with 37 seconds remaining. Brings second down and 20. Watch the replay here. Ward just on the run, just throws it as long as he can, and had a man open, just couldn't hold on to it.
It went through his hands, but he had to make an adjustment and really do about a 180 to get to the ball.
Nansemond River has no timeouts remaining, so they really can't afford to run the ball, but being down 43-0, just get it over with. They don't want to be shut out. High snap over the head of Ward, and he will just have nothing better that he can do than to fall on the ball and make sure it doesn't end up in the hands of the Phantoms.
And he's had a long night. He's played just about every down.
Yeah, and if I was going to pick a two-way player, a player on the other side of the ball, he would be my choice. He's had a tough night, but he's certainly, you can see right there, he just had no chance at all.
With that.
And that makes the clock continue to move. Now we're down to 4 seconds in what in all likelihood will be the final play of the game. Another high snap. Ward rolling, looking, and unloads, and it is picked off at the 38-yard line. So yet another interception by the Phantoms. Michael Norwood comes up with the game-ending interception, and Chatham Ward again sitting at the 10-yard line in frustration. But he needs to remember, as you watch the replay here, this is just the first game. He's going to have 9 more, and Nansemond River will have a chance to redeem themselves. But
they most certainly will. They have a decent team. Just got to get together.
All right, let's wrap it up here, and I will remind you that tonight's broadcast has been underwritten by the following: Hampton Chevrolet at 1073 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. By Zoom's Sitco with 5 Hampton locations.
When gearing up for your next print job, call Gear Up.
And in part by Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the managing director. Final score here is Phoebus opening the season with a convincing 43-0 shutout victory over the Warriors of Nansemond River. I want to thank our crew here, Channel 46. The crew, as always, doing a great job. I want to thank everyone for their efforts. I want to thank Bob Killen for our statistics. The final score again, 43-0 for Bob Hintz. This is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.